good day. Going down to the market to play. Gonna be a good day. Throwing all my fears away. Woke up this morning from a long rest and reprieve. Put a smile on, put my face on, and I'm walking away from all the hurt I felt, from all the pain I've held. I'm walking away. Good days come time and time. I know the sun will shine. Good days come time and time. I know the sun will shine. 'Cause it's gonna be a good day. A good day. Gonna be a good day. A good day. Gonna be a good day. Getting my friends together to play. Gonna be a good day. There'll be smiles on every face. Good friends and family make for the best of times. Picking on my guitar, humming on your hearts. What do you say? Good days come time and time. I know the sun will shine.
Hey, good day, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm Zach Cohen. Oh, let's see. Make sure that we've got this here. All right. So we are right outside of Phoenix, Arizona, and it's actually cold today. It was very weird to wake up this morning and it's cold again, so that's super exciting. But hopefully these storms that are coming through aren't going to be too much trouble for everyone that might be directly involved in them. But today I thought we'd talk about a little bit more about my album, the song Good Day itself. I got my guitar out, and I thought that we might talk about some Native American flutes as well, and a little bit of my history with Native American culture. Um, and then at some point, I was hoping to talk a little bit about AI learning. I got a pretty interesting article that I just found on unpredictable abilities emerging from large AI models like ChatGPT. So we'll spend a little bit of time talking about that. And then anything else that you guys might want to talk about, feel free to throw it in chat. Remember to sub. Truly appreciate everybody. We're just getting started on this. But anyways, we are full-time RVers promoting my album Good Day. And the title track, Good Day, we'll start off talking a little bit about that. So about, we were in Fairfield Bay, Arkansas. It's a really gorgeous town. It's this resort town in Arkansas with it's a pretty small community of people, but they generally are all decent. But there's so much to do there. There's different things like fix this real quick. Let's see. There's 2 golf courses. There's 3 pools that I remember. There might have been more. And then there is pickleball and tennis and all kinds of things. Parks. It's just this gorgeous little community in sort of the north central area of Arkansas. And we were fortunate enough to be there for a few months where we recorded my album Good Day. And met some good people there. I'll throw a shout out to the new mayor, Jackie Sykes. Really, really cool person. She is just recently voted in, and I think that she's doing a pretty wonderful job trying to bring the community together and have good changes coming their way. But that's about all I'll go into politics. I don't really talk politics all that much. Let's see how. Let me see here. I'm going to turn. Sorry to hear some of the fan in the background. Let's see if that makes it a little bit better. So I've got my Gibson out. This guitar was found at Guitars Etc. in Longmont, Colorado. We were in there shopping with a good friend of ours, Todd Ska. He's the owner. And he showed me this guitar, and we looked at some Taylors, we looked at some Martins, and then we looked at this guitar again. And we kept coming back to this guitar, and we eventually just got it. It's a beautiful SG200. Has a really cool sound. And so we'll go to Good Day. A lot of the all of the songs that I wrote on this album all started with just me putting together the basic melody to the vocals and the basic acoustic guitar part, which I recorded all of the acoustic guitar parts in all of the album, and then all of my vocals. I had some really great backup vocalists, and everybody did a lot of work in the album that was involved in recording. They all put their influence into it, their own artistic ideas into it, and it turned into something pretty great, I think. But yeah, so So 5:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning, I woke up and I had this melody in my head. Well, actually, it was more like the guitar part, so it went something like this. So a lot of the music that I write with finger picking, finger style, I use a lot of root positioning. So in that song, in Good Day, you'll hear this tone sort of like a drone, on a flute or drones of bagpipes or whatever you want to think of. But so that sound itself carries through all of the notes until the chorus. And this is more of a folk style song, as it's written with a little bit of looseness in the way that the verses are structured and the chorus is structured. The choruses themselves are only a repetition of 2 chords, and they repeat themselves a few times, and then we move back into the verse. But at 5:30 in the morning, I wake up, I grab my guitar, I start playing the line. Now, that same day, I was working on going down to the farmer's market to play. And I didn't really know, a lot of times the lyrics come really, really quickly for me. So if I have an idea, I'll usually write down the basic structure of the song, all the lyrics, within just a few minutes. It doesn't really take me all that long. But what I found with a lot of these songs is trying to keep them simple, trying to keep them simple until we get to the recording studio, and then everything gets a little bit more complicated. So it's interesting, but the lyrics tell the story of going to the farmer's market to play music with friends. And I had someone comment on this song. They're like, you could change any of the words to going to the beach to meet friends. It trying to create this feeling of joy and comfort that comes from spending time with friends and family. And that's what I like about this community, and what you'll find in my streams going forward is I prefer wholesome content. I prefer content that isn't, aggressive in nature towards other people or anyone in particular at all. I like to talk about ideas. I remember reading a quote, and I don't remember who it was by, but it was something along the lines of great minds talk about ideas, average minds talk about things, and small minds talk about people. And what I would like to find, and what I hope for with this community as it grows and more viewers join us in here, is that we'll see that kind of community grow, of wholesomeness and uplifting of each other, regardless of beliefs. I am a very spiritual person, but I don't have any desire to seek any one religion as an answer. As far as I look at it, spirituality is something that everyone has. It's that gut feeling, gut instinct, conscience, connectedness. What do they say? The collective conscience. But I really do believe that is something that moves within everybody, and there really isn't any way to put that into the definition or the box of any one religion. So I just choose not to be part of that. I rather look at it as, it's something that everyone has and everyone is capable of experiencing if they take the time to do so. So, good day. The first line says it all. Gonna be a good day, going down to the market to play. Gonna be a good day. So, going down to the market to play, gonna be a good day. That, and it repeats over and over in that, it has a melancholy sound to it, and that was intentional, because I feel like that's a lot of people, including myself. We wake up in the morning and we hope for it to be a good day, and we also hope that bad things don't happen, and we don't have any issues or frustrations arrive throughout the day, and that we don't have to stress about the day. We don't have to worry about what somebody might say or what somebody might think about what we're wearing or how we act, or just the ability to be ourselves without any consequence in a positive way, in an uplifting way for everyone. The problem with it is that I really feel like culture has taken everyone's idea of self-awareness too far and not held anyone accountable for being ugly or nasty to other people, or however you want to call it. But make sure to drop in the chat. Throw me your ideas. We also have a Discord community, Zach Cohen Live. I'll post a link in here. I'll grab that in a second here. And we also have there's that. We also have a community of Dungeons and Dragons players on Dungeons, Dice, and Doom. That's another one of my Discord servers, where we meet all kinds of people from all over the country, all over the world. For a while, I hosted a lot of D&D games, and we had people from Australia, Japan, Korea, the Netherlands. We had a German player for a while. That was a little bit tough. He couldn't speak any English at all, so we tried. He played. It was fun. And then a lot of players from the United States, but people from all different walks of life. It's an interesting thing, Dungeons and Dragons. I remember when I was a kid, I grew up Catholic, so we'll just get that out of the way. So until I was about 12 years old, we were C&E Catholics, is what we called it. Christmas and Easter. And then we officially sort of stopped going to Catholic Church after I was around 12 or something. I don't remember for sure when. But my grandma was very, very much like me. She was very spiritual. She had a different view of things. She didn't believe that any one religion was 100% right, nor did she believe that any one religion was 100% wrong, which I've always thought was a very intriguing way of thinking. And that, it's essentially how I've become. That there is a set number of things that every one of those are trying to help us live a better life. And how to live a better life, how to live happy, how to live without stress, how to live burden-free. And a lot of it is, just being kind. Oh, speaking of be kind, let me put my guitar down. So, there you go. Be kind. Regardless of what your personal beliefs are. See, I really do believe that there is a way for everyone to express themselves and what their beliefs are without being rude or obnoxious. And it takes effort from every person individually to be that kind of person. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. It's actually harder to be kind than it is to be cruel. I found, anyways. I don't know if anyone else really believes that or not, but it's very easy to put blame on someone else, and rather than be considerate of that person and their current situation or what they're going through, it's easier to just brush that person off and think, oh well, they're just a loser or something like that. Pretty awful way of living. I prefer to wake up in the morning and feel like, well, there's going to be something good that happens today. It just takes a little bit of extra effort. And to not have the burden of stress of thinking that everything's going to be awful is pretty, it's very light. It isn't a burden that you have to carry around. But anyway, so we wrote Good Day at 5:30 in the morning one Saturday morning, and then at 10:30 that morning we went down to the market and I played it for the first time. And we had a number of different people there. We actually had a really good time at the farmers markets in Fairfield Bay. They were really cool. Met some really cool people. There's so many things. That's another thing that I really enjoy about RV life and what we're doing, promoting the album, touring around the country. And we haven't been to a lot of places yet, but we will. Is that we meet people from all over the place. And it's so intriguing how different all these little communities are. But every one of them has a kindness to them. And it's very interesting to see how readily that kindness is shown if you're looking for it. But the same thing can be said about the negative side of life. It's very easy to see that if that's what you're looking for. So, I choose kindness. But anyway, so Good Day, my album, you can find it on 27 different streaming platforms. You can find it on YouTube Music. And I'm going to pull up the link for that. There we go. Let me see here. I'll grab that link here. Here's the link to my music on YouTube Music. And we have we have a couple videos. So we were playing around with a music video generator, and there's the Marcel video you can find on my YouTube channel. That is comical to have my music playing in the background to a Friends episode that has become unforgettable for most, if you've watched it. And let's see here. We've got the YouTube. You can also find the music on Amazon, on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, all of them. I prefer YouTube Music. It seems like I get the best quality streaming when I'm listening to music on there. And I like the way that their algorithm works, to where I listen to a certain song and it points me in a direction to a new song that I haven't heard before, or a new artist that I haven't heard before. So I like to hear new things. I like to hear new music often. I don't just play country music. For 27 years, I've played in various cover bands, covered every genre of music that you could possibly think of, really. From jazz fusion with... I was in this group in Colorado for a little while, speaking of jazz fusion, called M Squared, and with a really, really great composer by the name of Socrates Garcia. I was playing bass guitar for the group, and we were fusing jazz and metal. And then he was taking that fusion and turning it into big band compositions. So, and that was what his doctoral thesis was on, jazz metal big band composition. So he took some really great songs. He was a really talented guitar player. The guy could shred, but he was more focused on the composition side of music. I was playing with a great drummer and a great violin and piano player, multi-instrumentalist. Troy Valenti was the drummer, and Barb Valenti was the violin pianist, multi-instrumentalist. Both of them, well, she was also great with vocals. And after I left that group, I ended up having to leave Colorado for a while with work. They added another multi-instrumentalist by the name of Tom, and he had one of these Gibson SG guitars with a 6-string and a bass guitar. So I thought that was really cool. Always, and they made some really, really great music, and they ended up playing at the Telluride Jazz Festival. They won a contest to play on the main stage for the opening of the Jazz Festival. They did some really great things with their music, and they still play. It'll be nice to get back to Colorado. Hopefully I'll be able to bump into them. But through the years, I've played with so many musicians and so many different groups, from cover bands that covered everything from country to folk to reggae, rock, hair metal. So, and then I come to write my album, and it's sort of, I feel like, has its own sound. Probably it is classified into the country aspect of things, and I call it spiritual country. But some people have said it's a James Taylor type sound, but I've always fingerpicked. I started on banjo when I was 9 years old, and my dad played banjo, whom I just recently lost over the last year. But he played banjo throughout his life and kept playing music until he lost his left arm bicep in a work accident and wasn't able to use his hand anymore to chord properly. And for a while, when I had some time to spend with him, I bought him a lap steel, and I've since then picked up a Weissenborn guitar, lap steel. I have another one on the way. Hopefully, I haven't heard anything about that. Hopefully, I get an update about that pretty soon from Bear Creek Guitars. It'll be the last one that this luthier will ever make, with koa that is extremely well aged from it's pre-World War II koa from Hawaii. So I'm truly thankful and feel very blessed that that's coming my way. We'll see how it turns out. I think it'll be gorgeous. But right now I have Imperial Guitars, Weissenborn guitar. It's a special model that Seth Freeman turned me on to. Seth was the producer of my album in Fairfield Bay, Arkansas. And that's interesting. I forgot to bring that up. So we found this recording studio in the middle of this tiny little town. And you wouldn't expect it. You know, that's the really cool part about traveling around and finding out these little things, little intricacies about these little places that you end up going. I grew up in a small town, so I don't mean to denigrate them at all, but they always seem to have in little pockets of really cool, intriguing people. And I try to find out about these. I seek it out, because going back to my grandma, she was very interesting. She had us, we had Christian Christmas, and then we also celebrated Jewish holidays. And for a time, when I was about 7 years old, she started taking my brother and I to powwows. And she made us all, she made me a grass dancing outfit, uniform with my mom. And I started grass dancing at, in North Dakota at powwows. And that turned into getting involved in drum circles and learning a bunch of different things about powwows and Native American culture in North Dakota, in particular the Sioux tribe, where I was eventually honorably inducted into the Sioux tribe when I was 12 years old. And, you know, I've been trying to find this newspaper article that has the photo of it for a number of years, and hopefully my mom has it. I think she was going to try and find it for me. But there's a really cool article talking about what happened to me and my brother when we were honorably inducted, how it happened, pictures of us grass dancing, because, you know, it was very rare. We were very uncommon, and it was a huge honor. It was a bigger honor than I could understand at the time, to be included in the Sioux tribe and to be allowed to dance in the powwows. And I'll never forget that. And it's always been one of my interests because of it. Native American culture and Native American instruments. This one here is by Shorty Navajo. This is a dual reed flute. It has a drone side and the regular cantor side. Made out of aromatic cedar. Has a really, really cool smell to it. And I'll play the sound to see if it comes through. I honestly don't know if the instruments are coming through at all, so we'll see. Has a really pretty sound to it. So this is without the drone. And then with the drone. And then this one is a cherry flute made by Gene Cope in 2012. This one has a metal tip, same style of reed. I think it's pretty interesting how these work. So underneath this reed here, there's a hole on the back side, and then there's a hole on the front side. And the air travels in between the reed there, below the cap piece, and then comes out the flute side. But this one is actually tuned a little differently. This one is in D. So this one has a little bit different sound, and it's much harder to play than the other one. I can't even get it to go right now. I need to have it worked on. It's been abused a little bit. It was actually dropped, and I've had to hold it together with this piece of leather here on the end. But I thought about trying to add flute to the album, and it never did make it in there. We had a lot of other cool instruments. We had Weissenborn, we had dobro, we had lap steel, we had pedal steel, we had organ, piano. Oh gosh, what else was in there? There is a acoustic guitar. We had 2 different drummers, which I thought was really cool. We had one drummer that came from Kansas City, Missouri, and then Seth Freeman played drums on a couple other different tracks. And we had a couple guitar players, Seth Freeman's dad playing banjo. And let's see here. So my favorite song for the sound of the organ came from, let me see, I'm pretty sure it was Moments in Life. Yeah. So Moments in Life, I'll play this here and then we can talk about it a little bit. But this one was written for my kiddos. Moments in life where time seemed to go slow. My best wasn't best to show. There's really no way to know which way I was meant to go. But there's so many things in life you could follow. I've tried so hard to show you you can have your own way to go. To believe in yourself when you're feeling hollow. Don't let that moment go. Moments in life, you get one chance is all. Everyone around you seems to fall. They all go away, no calls but me. There's so many things in life you could follow. I've tried so hard to show you you
can have your own way to go. To believe in yourself when you're feeling all low. Don't let that moment go. There'll be moments in life with no one to follow, with no one to call on. There's only one way home. Have to follow your heart to me. Just follow your heart to me. Just follow your heart, 'cause there's so many things in life you could follow. Tried so hard to show you, you can have your own way to go. To believe in yourself when you're feeling all low. Don't let that moment go. There's so many things in life you could follow. I've tried so hard to show you, you can have your way to go. To believe in yourself when you're feeling all low. Don't let that moment go.
All right, sorry about that at the last second there. I forget that there's a delay. So sometimes there's still a few things that I'm learning how to do here, including, understanding the delay between when it records on OBS and sends off to you guys. And that's what I like to use, OBS. OBS is a very not so tech savvy, user-friendly type of streaming platform I found. I'm sure that there's probably something easier, but it's been working okay for me. I'm learning a little bit. I learn a lot every day on it. And I have a lot of people to thank for helping me get started going and everything like that, including my wife. She has been a huge blessing. She taught me how to appreciate my talents and to be able to accept a compliment. And that's a big deal because it has only taken 25 years since I started playing professional music. So I'm very thankful. Let's see. So in that, you hear the organ sort of dip at the end. I thought that was really cool. That was something that Seth did. So he had a Hammond organ, a real Hammond organ from, I think it was a 1923. I'll have to fact check myself on that and send him a message. With a true rotary horn in a oh man, no, I'm not going to think of it. It's the same cabinet that Jimi Hendrix used in a Leslie rotary cabinet is what it was. So you had this rotary cabinet that essentially had a speaker facing up, and on top of it there is a horn that went on both sides, and you had a control on a belt-driven motor that controlled the speed of the horn rotating, and that created the rotary sound. So in the different tone that it was in, whatever. And he created some of these really cool effects naturally. So something that I'm very proud of with this album is we didn't use any pitch correction. We didn't use any electronics. There's a little bit of delay and some reverb, but a lot of it's naturally occurring reverb that was just from the studio itself. So, and that was something that I was pretty particular about. I wanted all the instruments recorded acoustically. I didn't want anything plugged in directly into the board. No electronic instruments at all. And the reason is that I really feel like the way that the recording industry is going anymore is so electronic that you lose the beauty of analog. So you can call me an audiophile, whatever. I'm not actually that crazy about it. But when it comes to recording music, there's something about the natural analog sound being recorded rather than a digital reproduction of something that's already been played. And that's what digital sound is. It's a reproduction of a preset sound. There's no variation in it. There's no emotion of the musician in it. That's a big part of the album. Every one of the instruments that were played and all of the musicians that played on the album put their heart into it. And you can hear it in their playing if you take the time to sort of dissect the songs. And a lot of other albums like it that my influences come from, like Led Zeppelin, Lynyrd Skynyrd, B.B. King, T-Bone Walker even. There's so many things about these musicians that, and the way that they recorded their albums, that created the sound that really can't be recreated. Sure, it can be replayed and it can be copied, but you'll never get the natural heart of the musician coming through the instrument. And that's their soul. That's their spirit. And that's something that musicians share with everybody when they record, is they're not just playing an instrument, they're sharing their spirit through their instrument. That's their art. It's sort of, it's no different than an artist on 3D or 2D painting, 3D sculpting, 2D painting, however you want to look at it. But the original piece is always considered to be of the artist, and reproductions are just that. They're just a reproduction, and hence they're worth a lot less. And in my mind, the same thing is true of music. If it's a natural recording, an analog recording of a musician putting their spirit, their soul into the recording, that's authentic. A digital reproduction of somebody else isn't as authentic in my mind. And I'm sure that people will disagree with that, but there's always different opinions, and I like to believe that we can share opinions without having any type of animosity towards each other. But so that's the album Good Day. There's 4 ballads in the album, and then there's 3 more up-tempo songs, and then 1 completely up-tempo song, Gonna Be Hell to Pay. Now, Gonna Be Hell to Pay, I talked about last night in my stream, has a huge Stray Cats influence to it. And, you know, like, I also think of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I used to listen to Sublime when I was growing up. Loved Sublime. Some of my favorite bass lines that I played when I was in cover bands came from Sublime tunes. But I also, you know, I listened to Victor Wooten. Amazing. He's considered the Bach of bass. Victor Wooten is, I don't understand how he does the things that he does. I tried to learn. But that isn't me. And that's what took me forever to understand. Is trying to replicate what someone else does isn't a way to express yourself. It's a way to express them. And if that's all you're trying to do with what you're doing, that's okay. But I thought that I wanted to make this album that expresses me. And it's not a replication or a reproduction of somebody else's ideas or playing style or sound. I wanted it to be all authentic and going all the way to the way that the method that we recorded the album. So, well, anyway, I think maybe we'll pop in and chat a little bit about this AI, this unpredictable abilities emerging from large AI models. I found an interesting article from Quantum Magazine that I've been reading about. So here's the nerdier side of me. I consider myself a nerd. I love it. But so a prompt was given to ChatGPT as one of 204 tasks chosen last year to test the ability of various large language models. LLMs is what they call them. Quoting this article written by Stephen Orns on March 16th of 2023. And he's saying in here that the computational engines behind AI chatbots, such as ChatGPT, created surreal responses, is exactly how he put it. But what they're finding is that LLMs can produce emergent abilities. And so what they mean by that is they're talking about how the big models can complete tasks that smaller models can't, many of which seem to have little to do with analyzing text. They ranging from multiplication, generating executable computer code, decoding movies based on emojis. And this is sort of a big deal right now. This has turned into a surreal argument that movies that I watched growing up as a kid would say that this is a possibility in the future. And I thought that it's very intriguing to me that we've come to a point now where, again, movies are fulfilling what the future is. Some of it has never become true, but, in some ways, a lot of these ideas, and that's the thing about it. A movie isn't just a movie. A movie is an expression of someone else's ideas. And, starting with the author, and that is an expression of their spirit. So we can go on to the collective conscious. We can talk about interconnectivity. But essentially, the way that I look at it is, these ideas aren't that what's happening right now and what will happen in the future based on ideas that are being presented now. That's where it all starts. An idea becomes reality. And it takes time. It takes lots of thought, lots of intelligence, and emotion. Now, that's the thing that I'm waiting for when it comes to AI. I'm really curious to see what happens with AI as far as the idea of it itself becoming an emotion or expressing emotion in a natural way. And how would that ever be defined? Like all of these other things, these ideas in the past have turned into reality. The idea will become reality by reality proving itself. That's interesting that I come to that. That goes into one of the other songs that I recorded called "The Truth Will Out." I've lived by that idea, fully understanding that what I do will eventually come out. So, and it isn't about religion. It isn't about one belief system. It's that in honesty, if you're honest with yourself, all the things that we think we're keeping secret eventually become truth that has out in life. And the truth will out. So let's see here. I'll pull that song up. The Truth Will Out. I don't know if I've played this one yet or not, but this time I fixed the loop, so we'll see. Here we go. This is The Truth Will Out. I'm going to grab a song. Be right back.
Spend my youth believing the lie. Falling along, guess I was too shy. Always seeking the truth. Damn, I believed in you. uncertain when or how or why. Became who I am today, knowing the truth will out someday. Better off maybe, living my life my own damn way. No one can judge, they say, a heart pure without complaint. Proud who I am and will say the truth will out someday. Grown a little maybe, now I'm seeing the lines. Been falling along for such a long time. Now I'm sharing the truth because I believe in you. Keeps me humble and true and kind. Became who I am today, knowing the truth will out someday. Better off maybe, living my life my own damn way. No one can judge, they say, a heart pure without complaint. Proud who I am and will say the truth will out someday. Became who I am today, knowing the truth will out someday. Better off maybe, living my life my own damn way. No one can judge, they say, a heart pure without complaint. Proud who I am and will say the truth will out someday.
All right. Little Truth Will Out. It's it's a song that we were playing around with. We decided to have a little bit of fun with it, and we created this Jimmy Buffett sound with a little bit of square dancing. And I really enjoy how that turned out. It was one of my more enjoyable songs to play and record. Let's see here. So I'm wondering if anybody stops in here, drop a comment on how I can change the panning of the microphone. It seems like it's only coming out the left ear. Does anybody else know that? Yeah. Okay. So that's something that I'm trying to figure out still. Let's see. I wonder if I can change it. There we go. Does that fix it? I think that might change the way that it sounds. I changed it to a mono. On there, I forget there's a little bit of delay. Yeah, now I'm on both sides. All right, cool. But anyways, going back to AI, you know, the the point I was trying to make there and then bringing that song is the truth will out. You know, at some point, the truth of what AI will become will prove itself. And there really isn't, at this point, I mean, if it's allowed to continue, and I don't know that there's any way to stop it now. There's a whole lot of other ideas that go on in there. But, you know, essentially, if everybody has an active digital device, be it a computer or a phone or a tablet or whatever it is, you know, that's open processing power. That can all become AI, and probably already is. Who knows? I don't really know, to be honest, but you never know. It could easily become that. But like the song was saying, the truth will out on its own. There isn't any way to keep a secret forever. And, you know, it eventually all of it is revealing of itself. So, but anyway, that's just a little bit more on this. So they talk about this movie emoji task. So they had no reason to think that a language model built to predict text would convincingly imitate a computer terminal. So what they're calling it's illustrating emergent behaviors. They're calling zero-shot or few-shot learning. It's saying it describes LLM's ability to solve problems it has never or rarely seen before. And that's been an effort that has gone into creating AI as it is now. That it has its own self-learning, it has its own thought, and eventually its own emotions. So it'll be intriguing to see what happens. But it is becoming a big deal in conversation with even our politicians. I saw something about Joe Biden tweeting about it. Actually, I'll pull that up here, see if I can find it. President Biden tweeted something about AI. Let me see here. I think his tweet should pop up. Here it is, right here. Okay. I'll pull this up, and then I'll switch to this. I think that puts it on there. All right, here we go. So yeah, he says, artificial intelligence has enormous potential to tackle some of our toughest challenges, but we must address its risks. That's why last year they proposed an AI Bill of Rights to ensure that important protections for the American people, are built into AI systems from the start. And then I did a little research on that AI Bill of Rights. And as far as I understand, it's just, it hasn't been passed. It's just a proposal. But it reads, among the great challenges posed by democracy today is the use of technology, data, and automated systems in ways that threaten the rights of the American public. Too often, these tools are used to limit our opportunities or prevent our access to critical resources or services. These problems are well documented. In America and around the world, systems supposed to help with patient care have proven unsafe, ineffective, or biased. Algorithms used in hiring and credit decisions have been found to reflect and reproduce existing unwanted inequities. Now, that's another word that I've seen used quite a lot lately in politics is equity. But they say unwanted inequities or embed new harmful bias and discrimination. That's so algorithms have become discriminatory. There you go. So we've created an algorithm that is in itself discriminatory. Sounds very human. Gotta love it. Unchecked social media data collection has been used to threaten people's opportunities, undermine their privacy, and pervasively track their activity, often without their knowledge or consent. Consent is a big deal. See, that's what I was saying about we're all carrying around these electronic devices. There really is no way to know for certain if they're not being used for some other means. We think that it's just our phone. But in reality, we have all these connections to all these different things. They're constantly monitoring what's going on. Like you have Google Ads now. It's insane. You think something and it becomes an ad on your Facebook feed or on your Google search or whatever. So that's always been wild to me. Or another thing that I've seen lately is it almost seems like proximity. If you're talking to someone else or you're near someone else that's searching something, their search shows up on your phone, like the item that they were looking for suddenly is all of a sudden showing up on your phone in an advertisement, or an Instagram, or a tweet, or whatever it may be. So I'm going to call that proximity advertising. I don't know what it's actually called or if it's an actual thing, but it seems like it's happening. So who knows? I could be very wrong, but I've experienced it. But they go on to further say these outcomes are deeply harmful, but they are not inevitable. Not inevitable. Automated systems have brought about extraordinary benefits from technology that helps farmers grow food, blah, blah. So the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy has identified 5 principles. And this is like, I feel like this is right out of the Will Smith AI movie. What was that called again? iRobot? Is that what it was? Let me see. I want to look that up. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, it was. It was called iRobot. The 5 principles. So let's see. We'll go on to... All right. So the 5 principles are... The blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights is a guide for society responding to the experiences of informed researchers. Where are the principles? Here we go. Safe and effective systems. You should be protected from unsafe or ineffective systems. You should not face discrimination by algorithms, and systems should be used and designed in an equitable way. You should be protected from abusive data practices via built-in protections, and you should have agency over how data about you is used. You should know that an automated system is being used and understand how and why it contributes to outcomes that impact you. And you should be able to opt out where appropriate and have access to a person who can quickly consider and remedy problems you encounter. And then they go on to talking about implementing it. And the framework describes protections that should be applied with respect to all automated systems that have the potential to meaningfully impact individuals or communities' exercise of rights, opportunities, or access. So civil rights, civil liberties, and privacy, equal opportunities. And that's sort of, so they've changed the meaning of equal opportunities to say including equitable access. So not equal, equitable. And equity and equality are not the same thing. You can look those up. But access to critical resources and services. And they further go on to say, consider together the 5 principles and associated practices of the blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights form an overlapping set of backstops against potential harms. This purposefully overlapping framework, when taken as a whole, forms a blueprint to help protect the public from harm. The measures taken to realize the vision set forward in this framework should be proportionate with the extent and nature of the harm or risk of harm to people's rights, opportunities, and access. So we'll see if that ever actually gets anywhere. As I said before, it's right now just proposed. But anyways, we'll go back to that. So it's very intriguing to me.
Spend my youth falling along. Guess I was too shy. Always seeking the truth.
I'm going to.
Damn, I believed in you. Not certain when or how or why.
Oh, sorry. The track started again. I was not intending that. But as a request by a viewer and fan, I'm going to play Angel's Eyes to end the stream. And let you all enjoy that. Let me get that going.
Saw an angel's eyes in another young soul today. She'll never know what that meant to me. Had to turn my head. Walking away, heard something. Reminded me of my babies. When I'm lost, it's not that far. And I can still hear you call. And when my heart breaks, I close my eyes and wait. 'Cause I know I'll see you again. If you hear this when you're grown, I'll still be missing all the time taken from me. Please forgive me. The love I hold still remains. I love you, my babies. 'Cause when I'm lost, it's not that far. And I can still hear you call. And when my heart breaks, I close my eyes and wait. 'Cause I know I'll see you again. And when my heart breaks, I close my eyes and wait. 'Cause I know I'll see you again.
Hope you all have a good day.